It is very difficult to get our kids to listen to us about the dangers and cautions of social media. Back to social media again.
Yeah.
Is there a way to get through or more that we can do? So this is from a parent. And yeah, this is literally, we had this talk last night with my 13-year-old nephew. And I talked about what we talk about, all the same things. And it just seems like social media, I know there's good aspects of it, but in my personal opinion, is hurting people so much more than it's helping them. And with all these issues, so not to go off on my situation, but back to the question, basically not being able to get through to her kids about social media and the dangers of it, and what more can she do as a parent?
So there's forgetting what it's called. There's the social, there's a kind of a cool program, the Social Institute. And I think it's, yeah, schools, parents, yeah. I'm not getting any money for this. I'm not part of this. If you don't like it, it's not my fault, but it is a resource that I'm going to share with you all.
Yeah.
So you can take a look at that, because it really is, it's geared towards, I think it's kind of gamifies how to teach your kids. But even if you're not going to use that, did that go to everyone?
Yes, the socialinstitute.com.
Okay. I just want to make sure it didn't just go to you. You're like, I got it.
It might have went to, hold on. I'll repost it.
Okay. So here's what I would recommend. Ask your children, hear me out. What's good about social media? Because they're not going to expect that from you. Tell me what you like about social media. Start the conversation about what's good about social media. What do you like about social media? Because then, and listen, and don't negate what they're saying. Listen, yeah, that makes sense. I get to connect with people. Yeah, that makes sense. Listen, empathize. Here's our theme.
Yeah.
And so that you can have this conversation. And eventually, you don't have to do this conversation, but eventually you can then have the conversation of what's good about social media. What's not so good about social media? What do you like about social media? What do you not like about social media? How do you feel when you're on social media? How do you feel when you're off social media? And so you can start to have those conversations, because if you just go into this is wrong, what's going to happen? They're going to close their ears because they don't have that opinion.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I just had a client on Thursday who she kind of like, I worked with her for a while, and then she's doing really well. And so she just kind of comes in as needed, right? So every couple of months, kind of go through a tough time, she comes in, we have a session, we're good to go. Anyway, she told me, and I had never told her to do this, but we had the conversation about social media. How do you feel about social media? How do you feel when you're on social media? How do you feel when you're not on social media? And when she came in, she said, I want you to know that I got off social media for over a month, and it was incredible. She didn't get off social media because her parent yelled at her to get off social media or how horrible it was. She got off social media because we had these conversations, and she had chosen to do it herself. And it was very rewarding for her. She was really glad she did it. She's now back on social media, but she has a different relationship with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that pause was really good for her. But again, having those conversations, what's good, what's not. I mean, I remember when I used to work with people for smoking cessation, right? They come in and they want to quit smoking. First question I always asked, what's good about smoking?
Well,
like, yeah, I know. And then they'd be like, nothing's good about smoking.
Yeah.
Well, you smoke, so something must be good. Oh,
Yeah,
well, yeah, it helps me relax. It helps me, and then it helps me relax. It's something I do socially. It's something I do with friends. It not so much anymore, but when people, I don't know. I feel like more people used to smoke cigarettes, but anyway,
socially.
And then you look at the good from the bad. What do I mean? If it was to help them relax, cool. How can you relax without smoking? Right? If it was connected with people, cool. How can you connect with people without smoking? So what does this have to do with social media? Once you hear what's good, then you can say, well, that's really cool. You like to connect. You like connecting with your friends on social media. Are there other ways you can connect with your friends? Just start to open their mind to, oh yeah, I could do it on social media, but yeah, actually it's kind of fun to go grab, food together, go, hang out together, blah, blah. So just start to ask those questions.